Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York. In today's scene, we will be setting it by the lake again because it's convenient, and that's where Adam and Maeve clearly hang out, or something. Maybe she just likes the lake now that it's warm enough that she can stand whatever breezes waft across it. So, just for the sake of making the scene title just a touch more legit, Maeve has not only come to the lakeside, but has come to the lakeside and nested down under a still probably pretty bare willow tree. It'll be a bit. There's probably buds, but not likely any leaves as of yet. Not unless it's a really lively tree. We're still pretty early. We're not even technically spring yet, so she has just kind of nested in and is keeping a weather eye out around her as people come and go. It would probably make more sense to hunt Adam down to ask him for favors, but that would make sense and mess up my setting, so I don't want to.
I don't want to. Well, Adam is not prowling because that would mean searching for something, but he's like wandering the watered area of the Sept, and he is deciding to come down by the lake again to wallow in pity and nostalgia and something else. So he will go near to the lake and he will see Maeve there, and when he sees her, he will brighten a little bit and walk over to her towards her. He's in lupus, by the way, and greet her the same way he's greeted her a couple of times, like the platonic, affectional, like nuzzling of fur.
And she will pop her head up a little bit as he comes closer, flick her ears his direction. Be attentive to his approach, and probably lift her muzzle up so that she can return the gesture and greeting. Nuzzle eyelid is rough a bit.
How are you, Maeve? He says when he lies down and looks at her.
And she'll kind of stretch out a leg and loop a paw over his neck and kind of roll him towards her and start like idly grooming his ruff because she can. I mean, assuming he doesn't resist, because she's not that strong. But she'll just kind of so she'll kind of tug him over and just like mom style start like groom. I'm doing all right. Actually, you're just the person I need to see.
His eyes go up and he does the dopey doggy grin and looks at her. He's clearly happy about this. Oh, how can I help you?
She'll echo the grin for about a half second.
Yeah.
And give him one last kind of nibble to the rough fur. It's a grooming sort of thing where the teeth kind of scrape over the skin, but they definitely don't catch anything.
Yeah.
And then she'll let him loose. Well, just yesterday, I went to Miss Whisper, to the Den Mother, to help me in learning how to make a new Talon. And the spirit that we appeal to make it is the wind. The wind is very fond of songs, very fond of being praised and seen as a higher thing, because it is a very lofty spirit. And so I offered it a song in exchange for letting me bind it to create the war paint. And I thought that if anyone should be writing and singing, it is our Galliard.
He grins and nods, even though he's in lupus, and says, "Well, I would be happy to help." He says, "What can I? Tell me more about what you need." He says as he lies down and looks up at her attentively.
Well, like I said, the wind is pretty lofty, so I offered it a song to sing its praises. Maybe something about how it's the wind that directs the weather, that directs the change of the seasons, that can affect a whole area by blessing it with water or leaving it in drought. The wind is actually very pivotal to a lot of the things we need, so singing a song to praise it for blessing us with fair weather seems like as good a way to appeal to the spirit as any. And if you can get the song done in time, if you have it in you,
Mhm.
I think Miss Whisper will make sure that you are able to sing it at the next moot.
Adam smiles. I will work on that, he says. I will definitely do that. I've been trying to get some. I've been meaning to get to. I've been wanting, he says, to get in more into the role that Luna has given me, and this is a great opportunity.
I'd hoped you'd see it that way. I hoped I wasn't kind of stepping on your toes by volunteering you.
Adam grins and shakes his head. No, he says, of course not. I'm happy to help you.
And she'll leave her open her maw and do the gape
Mm.
mouthed grin.
Mm.
You are
So
very accommodating.
I try to be, he says, and then he will in a Garu's mental faculties doesn't change based on his form.
Nope.
Good. Okay. Only in that unspeakable place.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Well, then he will lie down and he will get a kind of a pensive look on his face. Not the thousand miles there, like, oh God, I'm gonna die thing. But like he will like squint his eyes a little bit, and you can, if he'd been a human, you in Homid form, you would have been able to see his brain turning like wheels as
Yep,
he.
she can see the gears turning.
Yeah. So like, how about the wind? No, maybe find the tune first. Something glorious, something that proclaims.
You might,
Uh,
depending on how Sin is doing, you might even be able to get her to play the harp for you, but I wouldn't plan on it necessarily.
oh, I don't think it's a good idea. He says to write planning on something that you don't know might if it happens or not.
She pops her
Um,
muzzle in agreement. I'd offer to help,
and
but I don't know any instruments. Not
he
yet.
he's Adam smiles. You know what? Actually, honestly, I don't either. He says, but I can still pick a good tune and then sing it. I'm certain. Uh,
Singing still uses air. It's that or maybe a wind instrument, but otherwise, I mean, both of those should appeal to the wind just fine.
and singing also uses wind. He says.
Yep,
At
exactly.
least. So the wind is being praised by itself in some sense. I have a feeling that it would recognize and appreciate the the um he was
The
about to say
gesture.
he was about to say ego, but then like not eagerly when she says gesture. Yes, exactly, the gesture. Um, so winds of no, is it arrogant enough to like something because the melody has wind in it? Because then we could go with winds of change for the melody, but
I
I
don't
don't
know that one
think so.
offhand.
Like follow the Moskva down to Gorky Pond, listening to the wind of change. And I apologize to the viewers for my singing voice, but meh. Um, and he will then think, no, no, that's not that's a little bit too slow. How about he, oh, no, I was about to say he snaps his fingers, but he doesn't because he's a lupus. So he like his like suddenly his like raises himself up a little bit on his uh, four paws or whatever, like
Mhm.
the legs, like the same way a human would rise up on his elbows. How about it has this
It's
it
energetic.
ha-
I like it.
it is exactly, that's what I think. It has energy, it has power, it has joy of life in it. It is spring, and the spring wind is the most glorious of all.
I like it. I think it's a good
Oh.
idea.
Adam does the doggy grin and now for the words. And he will
To kind of plop a paw across her muzzle, like, oh man.
and honestly, Adam's player is not as good as Adam at thinking this stuff up, but
You've got
so I
time.
will, yeah. Um,
Usually, if they do a moot scene, it'll be like at the end of the month, so you've still got like half a month.
yeah. Adam will first think for a while, and then he will look up at her and says, "Well, I can't think of good lyrics right on the spot." He says, "But I promise you, I will work on it."
And she'll bob her muzzle and kind of stretch her neck out just enough to lap in his general direction. She probably doesn't actually land it, but kind of just the little groomlet kind of towards his cheek ruff.
Hmm?
Thank you. In exchange, when we, well, I need to make more of it. We used it all in teaching me the pattern, but I will keep you in mind when we use it. It's something that we have to be mindful of because the paint that I have learned, the style I have learned, is for the Fianna, but because we are of their stock, they have no cause to fret with us wearing it. And I will make sure that you get a share when we use it.
Thank you. He smiles, and then catches himself smiling, and then instead does the doggy grin. This is really a habit I need to unlearn.
It's a little hard, but you'll get it. You're already much better. You don't slip very often. The other thing
Actually,
that's the hardest to unlearn is looking people in the eye when they're talking because
yeah.
prolonged eye contact is usually a challenge. You kind of, she'll pick up a paw and kind of like boop herself up on her brow, like almost up between her ears, but not quite. It's better to look up at their brow, look at their nose, look at their chest, look past them, but be careful not to make eye contact when they're talking.
Yeah.
Some of them don't care, some of them are Hamid, but the lupus, they respond pretty quick like.
Adam nods. I nearly got in a bad position with Den Mother earlier. I wanted to talk to her, and I completely forgot that there are some rules that lupus are raised with that we are not. And then he proceeds to tell Maeve how he first just approached Miss Whisper without like normally, and then when she started to growl at him, that's when he remembered, whoops. So he changed into lupus and rolled over.
She will in return point out that even in Hamid, when she came to get help with the rite, she still kneeled and got basically down on Miss Whisper's level and then bared her throat by turning her chin up, which is still something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Adam grins, does the doggy grin again, and says, "I will go get pen and paper."
Maeve will kind of glance around, twitch her ears a couple times, but she does. Let's just nope, wait, even tens won't do it. So she'll kind of glance around, twitch her ears a couple times, but as she can't sense Lucas, even if he is or isn't there, she'll roll her shoulders. He usually has a sketchbook or something on him, which would have been convenient, but she doesn't have the faintest inkling he's there.
You could use. Did you forget that you can use Primal Urge to sense?
Yes. So yeah,
you can
kind of glance around, twitch your ears, look vaguely annoyed, maybe. And then,
what's this about Primal Urge?
Basically, when someone is using, especially when someone's using a gift to hide, it's a lot easier to use perception and primal urge than to use perception and alertness. Because perception alertness means using your eyes and ears. Perception primal urge means using other deeper senses to sense that there is something uncanny nearby. It won't necessarily tell you where the person is, especially not like a pinpoint, but it'll tell you they're there.
Mm.
It'll go ahead and it's like a supernatural sense. It's exactly like awareness. You may get a sense of something's up. You may get a sense that that particular phenomenon is occurring at some other place, like right over there, maybe.
Like you'll get a vague direction, usually at best.
Yeah.
If you get a really, really boss roll, sometimes they'll be like, you get the gist that it's in this general area. You know, off to this side, within this area, but it still won't tell you exactly where the thing is.
Okay, yeah.
So with 4 successes, any chance she gets the idea that he's around?
He's somewhere on the wind.
He's somewhere. So yeah, she does the glance and the ear twitch, and then finally kind of pauses a second and starts kind of snuffling and looking like she's concentrating. Not necessarily on anything in particular. She's still glancing around as she does so. But her brow knits the tiniest bit, even in Lupus. At which point she'll kind of loft a paw and maybe paw at him to get Adam to pause before he walks off. And then she'll call out on the base assumption, because, I mean, it could be Laughing Shadow, but I mean, Lucas is more likely to follow her around, so she'll kind of pipe up and be like, Lucas?
Adam looks around, and I don't even want to run a roll against those 9 successes. so Adam looks around and can't see anything. Like, looks over at Maeve. Lucas is nowhere around.
No, just because you don't see him doesn't mean he's nowhere around. Lucas! You need your book.
There is a rustling of the bushes, like way, way over yonder.
Actually, now I am gonna make a roll for that, because that's a different thing. Perception, alertness. It's not that big of a deal. I only have 3 dice. Get 1 success. Like, whoop, Adam. I'm assuming that with 1 success he does notice the ruffling of bushes.
Yes.
He looks like he snaps his head over in the direction of. Wait, I thought I saw something over there. Lucas, he calls out, "Are you here?"
You get no response.
Adam looks at Maeve. Is this a game he likes to play a lot?
Yeah. I mean, it could be not Lucas, but I'm going to assume it's Lucas.
If it's not Lucas, it's something ominous, probably. But
if it's not Lucas, it's probably Laughing Shadows. Which honestly isn't as bad as some people want you to think.
Adam nods, listening to him.
You hear and see that same bush ruffle.
Lucas!
You get no response.
You're being a butt.
Adam sighs. This is somewhat irritating.
He's a ragabash. Ragabash got a ragabash.
Hey, it's entirely up to you people to go ahead and try to investigate it.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. That's crazy talk. Lucas, if that's you, come here.
You hear from the other side, no.
She'll kind of like chuff a laugh.
Yeah.
Yes!
I might actually have to go ahead and roll larceny to go ahead and throw my voice a little bit.
Larceny?
It's larceny.
I'll accept it. Go for it.
Misdirection. Beat
Okay.
4 successes. If you want to.
I do. So there. And I'm gonna. So she'll swivel her head around and point it in the direction he's actually in. Lucas! Stop being a butt. Come here!
He tries again through his voice. No!
If Adam was an Hamid right now, he'd facepalm.
What do you want?
I need your notebook.
My notebook's over there.
Where?
There is the unseen presence that's just behind the bushes that walks back to the bush that was wrestling, wrestles it a few more, and goes back to wherever he's hiding.
She'll finally kind of surge her way up to her feet and start pacing around towards the bush to go fetch his stuff. I assume it's his one of his usual little backpacks.
Yeah, it's a small pack. The zipper is open. Inside, you'll find a fresh sketchbook and some writing utensils.
In the name of not damaging it, she's just gonna pick up the whole bag. It's easier. I'm gonna drool on the paper. So she'll nose things a little further into the bag, like poke her nose in and nudge things down so nothing falls out, and then carefully pick up the bag in her teeth and just idly amble her way back over. Plop it down over by Adam. There should be a sketchbook and pencils in there. You should be able to write on that.
Adam does the doggy grin and go, huh. I guess that game must get quite aggravating in the long run. Yeah.
She kind of rolls her shoulders. It's Lucas.
He nods and he takes a few moments to change into to Hamid form, and he will search through the bag and I assume find the notebook and stuff to write with.
Yep.
And he will get started on the poem.
Also,
he's gonna flap.
Song. Yep.
Also, Lucas says that he starts to break the entire game. Comes out of the clearing. I believe that's Hallelujah.
What?
The little tune that you were humming. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Oh no, that was the Hallelujah chorus. No, that was the one I was humming. The last one was Vivaldi's Spring from Four Seasons.
You may want to have to school me on that one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Huh. That I swear I hear that melody whenever I go ahead and sing Hallelujah.
Nope. Sorry, but it's a completely different. It's even in the different ages and different composers. And Hallelujah is the Hallelujah chorus is from the Messiah by Handel, and this is Vivaldi's Four Seasons. Anyway, sorry viewers. I'm a nerd. What can I say?
That's okay. Maeve is impressed by the amount of music nerdery going on. She's actually kind of got her ears perked and is listening, even though she's lounging.
And Adam will. Sorry, go on.
Okay. Lucas goes ahead and looks at you. So you're a music buff?
You fell out a bit. So what? Sorry.
Okay. Lucas says to Adam, "You are a music buff."
Well, buff and buff is so much. I don't know about buff, but I do like music. He says, especially the some of the classical music, some of the like from times gone by. To be honest, I like that even when there are no lyrics, a lot more than songs about snakes and how they don't want buns or whatever.
Mm, okay, so you prefer the classical era and music from those old masters, right?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Me personally, kind of like the golden age of rock and roll. I
Mm.
like it. I like all different flavors and decades. They all bring their own sense of uniqueness. I like the Beatles. I love the British Invasion.
Mm. And Adam will start to what will he do? He will sing, but he will sing an old an old melancholy song that kind of fits with his mood at the moment, because of like the thing that happened a few days ago.
Hmm.
So I don't his player doesn't know one, but I'm sure that Adam would know a particularly good specimen of that. So that would be charisma performance, 7 dice, and it has the tune of. Have you seen the Lord of the Rings where Peregrine Took has to sing to the
Mhm.
Steward of Gondor? It has that tune,
That's a fairly good tune.
and he just as he looks over the water, he closes his eyes and he sings this melancholy song of sadness and loss, of wasted opportunities, and chances that will never come again. And he feels all the feels. Mm.
Aw.
No.
And when he finishes the song, he just sighs and looks at Maeve and Lucas and says, "Thank you guys. I will work on this." He looks at Maeve and says as he looks down at the notebook and plays with the pen a little bit in his fingers, to get a like I don't know, whatever, a hang of it, or feel it in his hands. I don't know, whatever songwriters do to drum up inspiration. And
That's
I'm
all right.
guessing.
And while he's being melancholy, Maeve will probably nudge a bit closer and idly, probably just give his leg a little nuzzle in the wake of that song, and she'll kind of curl up around him like a backrest,
Mm,
and just settle back in while he works on his song.
mm,
Hmm. Lucas, for his part, has been inspired, but not in the melancholy sense. You can see that he's currently bouncing on the soles of his feet, alternating between the toe and the heel.
Hey, Lucas.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, I can do glasswork, but I'm not very good at drawing the designs. I can put them on once they're drawn, but is there any chance you could draw me a simple like silhouette style stag in a forest type thing that I could put around a cup?
Yeah, shouldn't be too hard.
Thank you.
Have you guys ever heard the band Electric? Well, what is this? Electric Light Orchestra?
No.
Eh, they were a bit of a not necessarily a psychedelic band, but definitely a very, very progressive band. They had a lot of different hits. Strange Magic being one of them. I love Strange Magic, but the one that's currently coming to my mind at the moment is Mr. Blue Sky.
Blink, blink.
Has like never heard of it?
No. But then again, I mean, I haven't listened to much, so I wouldn't think too much of it.
Because of something like Mr. Blue, you did it right. But soon comes Mr. Night, creeping over. Now I'll know you this way. Hey, bing, 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 shh, ding, bing, 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 do, 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 na, 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 na. Something like that.
As he does that, you can see that Adam gets a little bit like not angry. He's not. It's not that kind of thing, but he gets a little bit like squirmish.
Eventually, the bounciness will go ahead and stop for a hot second.
Whoa! I was afraid that's when I was afraid that was gonna botch as well.
Yeah, I'd do something like that and then do maybe a roll a day just to do the length of time it takes him to really, create something cool, and then just blue book it.
Yeah. I will actually do that right now. No, not on Damien's page. That's gonna be bad. Don't want Damien here.
That reminds me, I need to tell Damien he's a butt. But anywho.
You haven't met, like, I would have known if you had met Damien, because that would have meant the end of Damien.
What? Damien?
Ah, Damien. Oh, lol,
You
you were talking about the real... No, you were talking about the real Damien. I was talking about my vampire character, Damien.
Ah. Might be. But yeah.
I was like...
So any other actions we would like to take, guys?
Nope.
Well?
Lucas is curious about Maeve's favorite song and style of music.
Sorry, did he ask and I missed it?
No, but he'll ask right now.
Well, alright then. Fair enough. And she'll kind of roll her shoulders and look a little sheepish. I mean, I have Celtic Woman CDs. I have Celtic Music CDs, but, I don't have much.
Next time that I got the both of you around and I got a boombox, I could go ahead and introduce you to some of my wonderful, wonderful soundtracks.
Adam doesn't look particularly joyful at the prospect of that. And he doesn't say anything.
No, I like them. I like Scarborough Fair. I like Blackmore's Night. Stuff like that.
You'll have to introduce me to those type of that type of song then.
Okay. I'll root for my CDs as soon as I can. It's not that much longer. A little under a week now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if there's anything else, but if there's not, maybe we can end the scene.
Well, on that note of two silly people sitting around discussing music and and just distressing the Galliard, we will say thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching, and we'll see you next time on another episode of Living World of Darkness: Rage Across New York.